Hello everyone, my name is Miguel Garcia. I am a bachelor's degree in modern language with emphasis in English student from UNED. And this time we're going to talk about the exams we already have chosen as a topic for the last assignment. Okay, so here we are. There are several questions. I'm going to try to talk and try to read really a little bit about it. So in order to comprehend more about what kind of exams we have chosen or we have already taken. So number one, it's the exam that I chose. It was the TOEIC test. And that stands for Test of English for International Communication. And the first question is, what is the purpose of the exam? Well, as I said, TOEIC stands for Test of English for International Communication. It tests an individual's proficiency in professional business and professional English business, no? Of course. This standardized test is administered by Educational Testing and Services, or ETS, the same organization that administers GRE and TOEFL test. Number two, what kind of people can take this exam? Well, TOEIC intends to level all kind of profiles who are expected to be developed professionally, of course. It is intentionally designed to measure the everyday English skills of people working in an international environment. Okay? So that's the main purpose of the test. Number three, what's the main goal of the exam? All right, so TOEIC, we have several parts of TOEIC, or several divisions of TOEIC. Actually, TOEIC listening and reading test, TOEIC speaking and writing test, and TOEIC bridge test, which is for beginners and intermediates. The first test assesses proficiency in English listening and reading skills from beginner to advanced level. It's a paper-based test, so that means that it's been doing by writing and by taking several or multiple choices. The second test assesses proficiency in English speaking and writing from beginners to advanced level. It's an online test which checks one's vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, fluency, coherency, and overall organization of the sentences. And last but not least, we have the bridge test. Assesses proficiency in reading and listening skill from beginner to intermediate levels. Okay? So that brings us to question number 4. What are the most significant characteristics of this TOEIC exam? Well, it is worth it for several purposes, both educational or working purposes. It is accepted over 32 countries in the world, and it belongs to ETS, Educational Testing Services, one of the most prestigious academic testing services. Of all of their products are worldwide recognized. This makes TOEIC a pretty reliable way to be certified in English as a foreign language. Skills are evaluated through the exam, and how are they evaluated? It's our next question. Okay, I will repeat it. Skills that are evaluated through the exam and the way they are evaluated. Okay, so TOEIC test, the global standard for assessing English language proficiency in all 4 skills, the skills that we all know, which are listening, reading, speaking, and writing. The TOEIC tests accurately measure English proficiency at levels from beginners intermediate, and advanced levels, of course. Okay. Question number 5 says, what scale is used to get the results? Or how do we obtain the results? Based on what? Well, of course, it is based on the Common European Framework of Reference for the Languages. The TOEIC reading and listening tests are scored on a 990-point scale. That means that the half 494 for reading and 494 for listening. The score range for each of the tests is the TOEIC speaking and writing test is from 0 to 200, and the scores are valid up to 2 years. That means, and that's pretty important for you to know, that we have to present or to update the TOEIC test every 2 years. Okay. Number 6, well, it's a personal question. Would you take the exam in the future? Why? Well, in my experience, actually, I would like to retake it because I have already done it in the past, as well as SEPTO when I began my career. I've got a C1 Common European Framework reference in both, but at first it wasn't like that. When I first faced this kind of test, it was 15 years ago, and I began with the TOEIC bridge precisely, and as a result, by that time I got an A2. Well, it was very, very disappointing because I was supposed to speak English already. But okay, now I understand a little bit better the intention of this kind of test, no matter what its name is, TOEIC, SEPTO, test, TIC-IT, PET. There are for different purposes or several purposes. One is tested to show one's level of not only understanding but also people formal and standardized usage of any language, in this case English as a foreign language. Okay, well, I appreciate your watching this video, and thank you very much for watching it. Okay, bye bye, have a good day.